The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live, Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio. Welcome back to another edition of the Carolina Cabinet.
Well, everybody, good evening and welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm your host, Peter Pappas, in studio with Mrs. Laura Mussler.
Hello, hello.
After taking a week-long little break, I think that was well needed.
Sure.
Well deserved.
Sure.
Okay. Ahead of your Easter.
Yeah.
We'll talk about mine in a minute.
I was going to say.
Well, it's a busy world out there.
That's exactly right.
So we got a lot to unpack today. So President Trump's deadline for Iran hits tomorrow, and now the question is simple: is Tehran going to blink, or are they going to get things going to get a lot worse? We're going to talk about breaking down what comes next, some dramatic rescue of the U.S. air crew that was shot down over Iran, and what that mission tells us about how serious this conflict already is getting. Then we'll lighten things up, and we'll talk about why America already celebrated Easter, but, my Easter, the real Easter, is still coming this Sunday. It's all ahead.
Right.
And yes, of course, we have opinions. So diving right in, what were you up to last week, Laura?
Let's see. Last week, April Fool's Day.
Okay.
I didn't get to pull any April Fool's jokes. That was a bummer.
Mm-hmm. You weren't at the office, were you? Was I in the office?
April Fool's Day? No, I was
Wednesday.
still.
Yeah. You were still. I know I was sick.
Well, you were sick. I was recovering from something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 31st is Joshua's birthday. So, but yeah, I rode my motorcycle. I pulled my motorcycle out. I disturbed the peace because it's funny because I went to some friend's house for Easter Sunday, and they were talking about people in their motorcycles and how they blast their radio. I said, well, my motorcycle is so loud, I have to blast my stereo so that I can hear it over. They said, well, don't you just listen to your motorcycle? I want to hear my motorcycle. The reason my motorcycle is loud is so that the people in the cars that are not paying attention to what they're doing can hear me.
Well, on the flip side of that, though, I don't think you're running in and out of traffic like these 18, 19-year-old GIs on the rice rockets.
Well, that's true.
That is definitely to me an FAO.
I have been known
to maybe act like a...
Well, no, but to zip in and out of traffic when somebody can't drive. If I see somebody like swaying or looking at their phone or something like that, I get away from them. Right. I want to zip in traffic and get away because they will run you off the road.
It's like situational awareness. You see that, you want to get away from it.
I want to kick them I want to pound their door
in the private parts. Is that what you want?
No, in their car. I don't want to hit them. Just I want to ding their car or something. Yeah. I used to actually have one of those balls on my car. My
Did you?
Yes, and you could swing it out.
Okay. I don't know. I'd still be kind of perturbed if somebody did that to my car. Even though it didn't damage anything, most likely, I'd be mad you hit my car.
Okay, well, I'd be perturbed if you ran me off the road because you were so busy looking at your phone and not paying attention to where you're driving.
You don't know how important my phone is sometimes. So.
Yeah, well, it can wait.
Okay, all right. Well, so last week I went to a new networking event, the BNI, Business Networking International.
Okay.
I went to an event they had at SALT.
International? That sounds really...
It's very official.
Okay.
Very exclusive. I saw most of my chamber cohorts.
I was going to say, international.
So there were a few new people there. It was nice. Okay. It was at Saul's Arcade, that place on the backside of AIT.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I did run into Mr. Clarence Briggs.
Did you? I haven't seen him.
Have you met him?
Yes, actually, my son stayed with him during the summer. He would he taught my son how to wrestle really, really well.
Okay.
Him and Byron are good friends.
Was not the best meeting. I think he was just a little bit upset. Some people were parking in all of his employees' parking spaces that morning. But I did mention the show. Maybe we'll have him on. Because, people are talking about data centers left and right.
Right.
We have one. It's not what a modern data center looks like. I mean, it's an older one, but we already have one. So, I mean, who better to bring on than a local person that operates a data center?
That'll work.
I did some catering this past week. I have a good friend that she teaches at Midway Middle. And even though it's in Sampson County, she says, could you? And I said, oh, yeah. So I think we fed about 80 students.
Nice.
On
So
Wednesday.
you're like training them young to eat Baldinos.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
That's right.
they know Baldinos. But it was a new thing for catering. So we made like plain subs, like meat, cheese, and bread.
Mm-hmm.
And then I brought them like pans of lettuce and tomato, and they got to kind of build their own.
Nice.
Almost like a taco bar for subs.
See, that's what I would like to do, because y'all add some stuff, and I'm like, I don't want that.
Well, you're a picky eater. We've already discussed that today once. There's, no soup, no this, no this part of the ribeye, and
whatever.
You're just
can I give you kudos right now?
What's that?
You have done a fantastic job in the studio. I like the new banner behind you that says on air.
Okay.
You've cleaned all of this up a lot more than it was.
I'm once I give time.
Right. You've done a very good job. It's not done yet.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm giving you kudos for what you have done.
I appreciate, and I'll take that credit. What else did I get into? Some property showings, whatever. There was something else I wanted to tell you. See, that's that old memory.
Did you have anything to do with Myrtle Beach?
No,
you already told me that.
Not a thing about Myrtle. I mean, Myrtle Beach was nice over the weekend. If anybody ever gets to Myrtle Beach, I can tell you a couple nice places to stay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, last week we had a little bit of kerfuffle in the news about our local board of election members, both the chair and former chairman Bree Eldridge and Chair Linda DeVore. Some, how do I put this? Some, I would say Democratic operative, but I don't know if he's a Democrat.
I think he's an independent. Actually, I looked him up. He's an independent.
Okay.
And he has actually attacked both sides. So I wouldn't say that he's a Democratic operative. I say he's an equal opportunity operative.
He's an equal opportunity muckraker.
That's exactly right.
So he lodged complaints to the State Board of Elections alleging a couple of, it's hard to describe this in a nutshell. It would take us a whole episode, I think, to explain, but I think when it came to light, I think you, Laura, you weren't around back then.
That's right.
So much.
Thank goodness.
To me, I was around, and I just was like, because there was people that in official capacities that had rubber stamped whatever happened, and they were okay with it. I don't know if it's right or wrong at this point now that it's become a complaint to the state board, but we do have the response from the state GOP basically attacking the reporter, I would say, and
the people that are
and everything else.
See, I don't take that stand.
Okay.
My stand is let's investigate and find out exactly if it is nothing. I don't want to go out there and say it's nothing and find out that it is something, but I don't want to say that it's something and find out that it's nothing. It's been decided or whatever. But this is why for those of you that don't pay attention, close the loop, because they have been, these people have been yelling about it for about a year and a half. And I just thought it was just crazy talk. Whatever.
Well, and it is very nuanced. It's very inner baseball political.
Well, is it? Because it's been presented to our current chair, our previous chair. It's been presented to the State Board of Elections, which is all fine. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. If it's been investigated and they keep saying, oh, it's nothing, whatever, then close the loop. Call back and say, hey, here's what we've discovered, so that these people aren't left wondering and saying that nothing happened. If there's nothing to be, that's fine. I love the both.
And I agree that we should close the loop. We're the party of rules as far as the GOP is concerned. However, how many times are you going to dig up a dead body and beat it to death?
I don't know that anybody dug it up.
Because I had just started coming around. The incident in question surrounds the General Flynn visit here when he spoke.
Right.
And that was like the first event for the GOP I attended, right when I was getting ready to running for city council, and I thought it was a waste. That guy, he was not worth listening. Clarence Henderson spoke before him.
You spent $25,000 to make $6,000. You would have been better off just writing the GOP.
No, I didn't.
Well, somebody.
I mean, look. My point is, I went and I was very much more impressed with Clarence Henderson of Frederick Douglass Foundation, because that man sat at the Woolworth counter in Greensboro. That's a story I want to hear.
Right.
This guy, General Flynn, he got fired by Trump for doing God knows what. And it's like, why are we paying this guy? But anyway, it was a fundraiser, and that's what a lot of this new energy is around is.
But you say that, you say that, except that if you raise up a question and nobody closes the loop, are you really revisiting it? Or are you just like, hey, hello, pay attention to me? I'm telling you, there's something wrong here. Or if you close the loop, then it's closed.
Well, I want everybody to remember the complaints do not contain any sworn affidavits. There's no sworn testimony. It's all, if you read it from a 2 arms length, in my opinion, it's hearsay because they heard Susie say it to Joey to.
Well, actually.
Are you going to actually me now?
I'm going to
actually me. Go ahead.
If you read the minutes, which you told me minutes are not legal documents, guess what? You are incorrect.
Well, they're not accurate legal documents.
They can be used in a court of law as an accurate record of what happened because, number one, they are reread and overviewed. And if you're not overviewing your minutes, and there is a class that I took on how to take minutes, and you don't say people's names, and you don't say what happened. You keep them very brief. A motion was made. It passed.
Well, then, we're handing out secretary positions and electing people for these board positions like candy. It's a popularity contest. Should we not be making these guys go to a training then? If it is, in fact, can be.
I actually took my FRWC training and I handed it off to the chair to see if he does anything with it, because the first set of minutes that we got for this last board meeting, I was like, these are unacceptable minutes. This person had an impassioned speech and this.
Yeah, you're not supposed to editorialize.
Right. Yes.
You're supposed to say. Facts. She said something. He seconded it. Well, not even.
No.
Well, you have to track who makes the motion.
No, you don't.
You don't?
Nope. Officially, you don't, unless it specifically says that you do. You don't talk about the discussion. You just said a discussion ensued and what was decided. End of story. Who said what?
Well, is it so bad to say who said what? I mean,
I don't know.
Day and age, can we not just audio record it and then translate that to?
In this day and age, yeah, I guess we can. However, it's when people editorialize or put people's names in it that if what was stated in the minutes is actually what happened, there is a serious problem.
Okay.
But if it was just editorialized and that's not what happened, then there's nothing there. So somebody has to investigate and find out. Either way, I support everybody. I hope the truth comes out. And that's where I lay.
We got a few people that have joined live watching, and we're going to have some comments here in a little bit. We'll get back to those.
Kalista, there were 5 sworn affidavits. 2 of them were by people who were on the board when it was said.
Okay, but sworn to whom?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. A legal entity investigating. The sheriff getting a sworn affidavit is a hell of a lot different than me saying, well, I swear to you.
Well, no, as a notary public, you can swear something in front of me and it becomes an official document. You don't know who was in there. So if there was, if there was a notary public in the room.
But all the notary public is saying is that, yes, that person said that. It doesn't mean it has any veracity or any.
But if you're swearing to the.
Notarize this document. I'm going to write down the sky is purple.
Okay.
Here.
I'm notarizing.
Now it's a legal document.
It is a legal document.
Okay.
And you can be held liable for what you wrote in there.
But it doesn't make true.
Well, I didn't say that it was true, but
that's the thing
so what you're saying is 5
people
people have gone out of their way, have just completely and totally lied. I don't know. I'm going to
that's why it's to
my
be investigated.
judgment until it's investigated.
There you go.
That's correct.
Yeah. So again, knowing that the investigator called another person and
somebody out of state that none of us even know.
Yeah. And
I don't know who that person is.
Impersonated a government official. Yeah,
I don't know.
That to me is a credibility issue.
Maybe, but like I said, there was another. Not just that person got a phone call. There was another dude that I have no idea who that dude is.
No, I'm familiar with that too. He's moved to take care of grandkids or something, but
I don't know who he is.
Again, it's kind of like I was telling somebody the other day. Laura and I, and then there's other people that are kind of around us right now. We're kind of been around the GOP for a number of years at this point. Like
I'm thankful I wasn't around the GOP this day, because if I knew anything, I'm a tattletale. I tell.
We've been around and like we've seen some things, so we know a lot of the backstory. But then, if we don't continue to be involved, then these things are going to fall by the wayside. Right. They're going to happen again. It's kind of if you don't know your history, you're going to repeat it.
Right.
So let's hope that whatever happens being investigated, we get to the bottom of it. We find the truth. If there's penalty to be paid, I hope they pay them.
Right.
I
mean, the big story is not that the 25. The big story, to me, in my personal opinion, is that it's kind of like if you're at school and a teacher sees something that's not right, she is obligated to report it. Obligated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There was something amiss. it was obligated to be reported, and it was not. That's the issue that I have with it. If there was a mistake made, if there whatever happened, my key is, why was it not reported?
Mm-hmm.
And if it was reported, then let's see the paperwork where it was reported.
Right.
Story over.
Right. And again, because I was around back then, I'm like, this is, in my opinion, it had already been. But if it's something that can be asked again for clarification, then let it go.
Yep.
Let it be investigated. Like I said, there's a state board of election for a reason, so let them handle the complaint.
Yep.
You want to talk about Tehran and Iran for a little bit? Because tomorrow is a big day for the Trump administration.
I know.
You remember when Ronald Reagan or Gaddafi drew the line of death, and he told Reagan, don't cross this line, or else.
Or else what?
I think Reagan then bombed his house and killed his son.
Yeah, I think Trump is like Reagan.
We don't listen to Middle East dictators very much.
Hold on. We as in who?
The United States government.
Well,
the Republicans in the United States government.
All right, there you go, bingo. Because don't. That's what you get from the Democrats. Don't. What if I do?
Don't do it. Yeah,
don't.
Well, some people. I did see somebody post. There was a well-known Republican posted, boy, I'm sure really upset at my president for saying whatever Trump posted about what he's going to do tomorrow. Mm-hmm. There was some expletive in there. And then she went on to say, yeah, I miss it when my president said, out of Biden. I was like, yeah, pretty much. So we're upset that Donald Trump for using an expletive here and there, but.
I taught my children to fight. Okay, they knew how to fight. They knew how to wrestle. They knew how to play football. I taught my kids how to do all of that. And I always said, you never throw the first punch. Unfortunately, they have been punching us. Iran has been. Death to Americans. They're making an atomic bomb and all of that stuff. So we said, yeah, I don't think so.
Well, we've had enough. Look, 45 years.
I'm so thankful that we have a president that has had enough. Because what are we going to do? Wait until they have it and they actually bomb us?
Well, they're going to go after Israel, and that's game over.
Right.
I mean, that's all there is to it. They won't have the capability to launch an ICBM against us, but they'll be able to take out Israel.
Right.
And these folks are living in the 7th century AD. You can't have 7th century people in a 2026 civilization. And that's what we have, is a civilization. We have things, and we are the greatest superpower on the planet. There is no other superpower than us.
That's true.
Who the hell else is going to do it? And if we don't reset that region from 50 years of religious persecution and just crazy, who else is going to do it?
Well, I don't like the world policing so much. However, when you're like death to America and we're going to bomb you and all of that stuff.
But it's not passive and it's not threatening. They've done it through proxies, Hamas and Al-Qaeda.
I agree.
And everything. So they've been actively at war with us.
Right. And we've just taken it.
We're just closing the loop, like you said earlier.
That's exactly right.
Closing the loop.
Yep.
Make the loop. Yeah.
Close it so that you can't reopen it ever.
Well,
and just to go on to that about the superpower, we are a superpower. We proved it.
We're the only one. I mean, but so Trump puts Iran in a corner. What happens if they blink? What happens if Tehran stands fast? I mean, do you think we're, as an American society, prepared to carpet bomb the ever-loving shit out of these people?
Okay, here's the thing. We, as a country, need the Iranians, whatever. They need to start standing up for themselves, though, and then the Europeans and all that need to start getting in there and getting involved and stop. They are part of NATO. Let's start participating, because we're not in this alone. Number one. Number two, we can't pick the people. We're not in the nation building. That's not what Trump wants to do. He doesn't want to install a new.
Well, he said that. He said who's going to be the new leader. He says whoever the Iranians want.
Right. The Persian people that are the original Iranians need to stand up and start taking over. Otherwise, they're going to pay the cost, because if he starts bombing the infrastructure, which would be the electrical grid and things like that, that's going to affect the Persians and the people that should be there.
Or he's just trying to create some jobs overseas.
He is a big job creator.
He is a big job creator. So I think most likely Iran is going to do just enough to buy themselves some time. I don't think
I think their time is up.
Their time's up in about 12 hours, I would say.
I think that they've pushed it off long enough that if there is no more time to push off.
Well, I hate deadlines, especially public ones like that, because then it removes options. I think back to the Cuban Missile Crisis. There's a good movie, 13 Days, whether you like or don't like Kevin Costner. He was in that. And, the public saber rattling removes, I think it was it Adlai Stevenson was our ambassador to United Nations. And he says, he was the one in the room saying, I still think there's a diplomatic solution. And all the more war hockey type people are like, what, peace at any price, gun to our head? Do you think a gun's to our head with Iran right now? I mean, because we've been tolerating what they've been doing the last 45 years.
You don't get to 60% uranium if you're not going to make a bomb. And what do you and why do you want to make a bomb? It's not to.
So you think that because of the evolution of their nuclear program, that now there's a gun to our head?
I do believe so. So we need to demolish them and not get them where that they can jump back up.
Have we tried to diplomatically salute them?
I think
diplomatically solution them?
I think so. I don't think that
have
they
we
can
exhausted that?
I think so.
Has that regime exhausted our diplomatic efforts? The regime, I think. I don't think the people have.
No, the people. That's why the people need to step up. But I mean, I'm just some woman in Fayetteville, North Carolina. What do I know?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say anything about that. You know a lot.
Thanks.
I know a little about a lot. All right. So what do you think? You think they're going to give a little bit, give us some oil?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Are we doing what Lyndon Johnson said, bombing them back to the Stone Age?
That would be great.
Yep. Well,
unfortunately, some Persians may pass because of it, and that makes me sad because they're a peaceful people. So, Well,
we rescued a pilot last week. Remember that? Wasn't that awesome?
We right. What I said is we are the baddest nation ever. Well, not only did we rescue our pilot, but the co-pilot eluded for over 30 hours a whole army with $60,000 reward for this guy's head. Guess what?
Well, I saw some of the technology that was available to these pilots now. That's a code hopping radio, a frequency hopping radio that would emit certain signals, but it comes up as background noise to the Iranian or any of our enemies, like radios. They just hear static. But it says, I'm alive, I'm injured, I'm this, I'm that.
He was injured. And he had to elude.
Do we know how badly he was injured?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
But the fact that he just trucked his way out of where he was and eluded them for 30 hours, that shows how.
Do you think, though, because we are trying to claim air superiority over there, and this is a more military question, but to lose one of our, F-15s?
But these airplanes are not stealth airplanes. These are the low-flying.
Not an F-15. That's a jet.
Well, most of the planes that they have hit or whatever.
You're talking about the A-10 that they did. That's the whole plane that's really a gun with a plane around it.
I don't. Yeah, the planes that they're getting, they're not stealth.
What I'm getting at is, are we sure that? I hate to call it propaganda, but we get propaganda from our government.
We do.
Are 100%. We, knowing that these pilots were shot down, do we really think we have air superiority, or is that a one-time thing? They just got lucky.
They got lucky. How many planes have been over there bombing the crap out of them? They got. I mean, even a blind squirrel gets a nut once in a while. You know, what is it? An unworking clock is right twice a day.
Broken clock.
A broken clock.
Thank you, Tony Soprano.
Yes. That's exactly. I'm sure.
You did.
Whatever. But I mean, they're going to get lucky. They're going to get every once in a while. But they didn't even have enough firepower to blow it up out of the sky. Our people ejected.
They were able to get out.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe that's another way to look at it. I guess the glass half full with my emotionally intelligent co-host. Yes. Okay. Well, it is one thing though. Foreign policy is becoming a kitchen table issue again because now I went to the gas pump last weekend and my car sips premium and that was like $5.05 a gallon.
So it's just about at the same point that it was during the Biden where nobody was complaining about it.
Yeah.
And if you did complain about it, you were like, oh, that's just.
Well, I can complain. I still have to buy it. It doesn't, I mean,
that's exactly.
I'm not going to start walking over there.
So I was watching. So the Straits of Hormuz. Okay.
Hormuz.
Okay.
Moves.
Well, there was a guy on TikTok walking around so How do you feel about them trying to free the Straits of Hormuz? What about the gays of Hormuz? And somebody actually said they're an underserved community. We also need to take care of the trans of Hormuz.
Okay.
That's... I don't mean to laugh.
Oh, my God.
I don't mean to laugh at the uneducated people in America. But yes, the gays and the trans of Hormuz are an underserved community.
They are very much underserved, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really popular to be trans over in Iran anyway, from what I understand.
Yeah. Or gay.
So, yeah, neither one.
Right.
So we've got oil and gas pressures. I mean, like I said, $5 at the pump.
Mm-hmm. It'll get better.
It will get better. And I think people Americans want such immediate gratification.
That's right.
Instant gratification. And, we want this to be over. And honestly, who does this war really affect day to day, except the men and women that are in service and uniform and their families and spouses? I mean,
it does at the gas pump for us for the time being. But it's a short period of time and it's worth it. So would you rather, okay, let's play the game. Would you rather pay $5 for gas for a month or have total destruction in the United States of America when we have an atomic bomb?
Let me get my blue hair wig and say, well, I'd rather just not have expensive gas everywhere and not bomb anybody.
You can't have both.
There you go.
It's one or the either. We have atomic bomb or $5 gas. Pick one.
Well, we're going to have $5 gas for a little bit, but I think as soon as, tomorrow is a big deadline. We'll see what happens there. Don't forget, we DoorDash Maduro from Venezuela, and we have not gotten enough companies in there to start working. I think once we start getting oil from the Americas,
right,
I think we're going to be less dependent on.
And that's
foreign.
what Trump said. You know what? If you don't like then get it from America. We got plenty.
That's right. So I just think sometimes we're being strong overseas, but sometimes the typical American has not got the stomach.
We as Americans hard times make strong people. Easy times make weak people. And we have a society of weak people. Wholeheartedly.
Could it just be that it's too easy to not be hungry and not be homeless in this country?
Yes.
And that because we've taken care of Maslow's lower needs of, food, shelter, and,
So I had a friend who said she was going to go live on TikTok. I'm not TikTok, Facebook. So I'm not a Facebook kind of person, but I spent the day watching Facebook all day long.
Facebook now, ma'am. So
yeah, well, I understand, but I don't just sit there and look at Facebook.
Okay.
So I spent the entire day okay, where is this live? I'm waiting to see whatever. So I saw all kinds of videos, and I saw a guy that said, let's take anybody that it says that America's a bad country, find out what philosophies they have and what they would like to see changed here in America, and they get shipped to whatever country has most resembles
I'm down with that.
Their philosophies. Let them survive for 1 year there, and they can come back and implement that here or see how bad it is. I love that.
That reminds me, my dad used to tell people that back in the 80s, 90s, I don't know, probably yesterday, I don't know. But, people, other fellow Greeks, they look, we're a boisterous bunch, obviously, so we'll get into arguments over who's better. It's kind of like arguing who's got the better football team or whatever, and Greece is better, this and that, And my dad says, okay, I'll buy you a one-way ticket.
Yep, go
back. If you don't like, go back.
Right.
And, you don't have to like everything that this country does, but if you're here, sit down, shut up.
That's right.
And enjoy the freedom of not having your head threatened to be cut off today, please.
Assimilate or go back.
Yep. So tomorrow's going to tell us whether this administration is going to have real leverage or it's just high-stakes theater. And like I said, the whole arbitrary deadline scares the hell out of me because it puts men into having no other option. And because every man's got a little pride. And pride comes before the fall.
Wait a minute, hold on. He already extended it 10 days because yes.
Okay.
So this was a 10 day-old. 10 days ago, he said, "Okay, I'll extend it for 10 days because there may be some backroom." And then they were like, "No, we're not negotiating."
All right, Iranians, you better strap in then because it sounds
exactly
like
right.
Granddaddy B-52 is coming to see you. All right. Well, let's go from missiles and markets and stuff. Let's bring it back to something safer. Like
Easter?
Why Greek Easter is on a different day?
Because you guys are late for everything.
We are late for everything.
Nothing personal, Greek people that are watching.
No, they get it. They get it. No. And if you're watching, just drop a comment in here and say hello. We'd love to talk to you. So Greek Easter, all right. So first of all, I'm going to tell everybody this. We're the OG Christians, okay? Jesus and his disciples, they passed away and then became the Orthodox Church. And then in 1068 AD, the bishop of Rome, says, I don't represent St. Peter. I represent Jesus on earth.
Okay.
Our church had a problem with that.
Right.
Because every major city had a bishop of Constantinople and Antioch and all this other stuff. So
you sound like you went to Sunday school.
I had some church history in college.
Okay.
And I love this stuff because I told somebody the other day that Christianity is the best marketing program ever on this planet, right ahead of Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Most recognizable, because how did Christianity get through the Roman conquered world? They copied the pagan festivals.
That's right.
In the winter, in the in the fall. So the birth of Christ and the Easter and the the resurrection, and then did I say the birth already? I meant the death and resurrection, and then the birth, and around Christmas time. They basically just bolted on Christianity and Christian principles to already standing festivals, and it was kind of an easy
segue it was a pagan
to
holidays.
Be accepted. Now, we got them to accept it because we want people to be saved.
Like the Easter bunny.
And
the Christmas tree.
Let's get back to why the Greeks are late to everything.
Yes.
It's not okay. So just to dissuade this, it's not because we like to get discounted candy after the American Easter, although it is a plus.
I was going to say, what a bonus.
But sometimes the peeps are a little tough to chew.
Are they?
You got to really, that's a timely thing.
Okay.
But the difference really comes.
Like peeps anyway,
it's a calendar thing. The Western churches use the Gregorian calendar, and Orthodox churches use the Julian-based calendar, which I tell people is the Jewish calendar.
Okay.
So basically, the Orthodox Church just kind of used the Jewish calendar that was being used at that time, and just kind of stuck with it. So, look, we're not late. We're just Orthodox.
Okay.
So, any
same
questions?
thing.
I mean,
you interchange them. I have a Greek friend. Oh, he'll be late.
Yeah, he'll be late. Yeah. I tell people, is it Greek time or CPT? What are we going after today? So we all have, every ethnicity has their thing. And if Greeks are just a little late, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. So what else? How was your Easter? Because you did have the American Easter yesterday.
I did have the American Easter.
Did you enjoy it with friends and family? Hopefully?
Went to a friend's house. Yep.
Okay, good.
I'm going to stop there.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
You don't have to. It's Easter. You're supposed to be happy.
I'm happy.
He has risen. Come on.
I'm happy. I ate a lot of what's called sweet potato casserole.
Sweet potato casserole.
That I made.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be, I don't know, we might do steak or maybe a lamb.
I wanted lamb. That's what I wanted.
Lamb is good for Easter.
So Sunday, where do I need to be?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
My mom and dad.
Oh, no, April 12th. Oh, I have somewhere to be. Oh. It's Diane Wheatley's birthday party.
Oh, you know what? I just responded to that and said I can't make it. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's one of the few times my religion works out for me.
Wow. Did you just say that? No, it's her birthday. It's her 75th birthday.
Happy birthday, Diane.
You should buy a ticket just to buy one.
See, now you put me on the spot. Now, now I'm going to do it anyway.
And you can buy a ticket and donate it to me because I have to buy a second one because somebody wants to go with me.
So there are a couple of things that have come up in the last week. Let's talk about this unstable genius we have on the United States Supreme Court.
Oh my God! You're talking about Ketanji Jackson Brown, or Brown Jackson, whatever it is.
It was a little bit of word salad, which is indicative of probably the Democrats anyway. That
is where DEI gets you.
I don't know did I even quote everything that did I write it down?
Something about if you break a law in Japan, then you become a person that is, I don't know. It made no sense. And I'm like, okay, yes, if you break a law in Japan, then you're held liable for that.
She was claiming it makes you Japanese because you have allegiance to their laws. If you get in trouble.
That doesn't make you a Japanese. No. First of all, if you go to Japan, you can't go there illegally because if you go there illegally, you will be.
They have penalties and stuff.
That's right.
Amazing.
So there's no sneaking in. Yes.
Well, it's an island. You can't really sneak up on Japan. Although Trump did say, they do know all about being sneaky.
I was going to say, you can sneak up on an island. We have
Pearl Harbor, yeah.
You can sneak up on
So
an
I
island.
guess Justice Jackson was talking about legal control, not patriotic identity.
Right.
She was arguing that a person can owe permanent national allegiance to one country, but still owes temporary legal obedience to another country's laws when physically present there.
But when you break the law to get in the country, do you show?
But her point was you don't have to be part of a nation's permanent political community in order to be subject to their laws. So isn't she making the case for ICE?
Yes.
I mean,
That's the way I see it.
I think that backfired on her because you don't have to be part of the follow that ball. You don't have to be part of a nation's permanent community in order to be subject to the nation's laws.
Right.
So
You
if
are subject to our
illegally
laws.
immigrated here,
Mm-hmm.
you're subject to our law.
You go home.
You get a one-way ticket.
That's right.
Thanks, Justice Brown.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe she proved our point. I don't know.
Mhm.
So, of course, we had lots of critics about what she said. In normal conversation, the word allegiance sounds like loyalty, patriotism, national belonging, citizenship, identity. But Jackson was trying to use it more in a technical legal sense, more like subjection to lawful authority and obligation to obey the sovereign where you are standing.
Well, if you're obligated to obey the sovereign where you are standing, then when you broke in,
Mhm.
you have to go home. So there. Now, if you break in, do you get to push out a baby and then become a citizen?
Well, I think this is leading up to their decision on birthright citizenship.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think she's trying to make a narrow. I'm not trying to defend her at all because I
Sounds
think she's
like
a
it.
clown. But she. I guess what she meant to say was, if you're standing on another country's soil, that country can govern your conduct. Again, making the case for ICE.
Right. So if I go to France and push out, well, actually, Italy's hard to become a citizen.
Mhm.
You have to learn the language. They have a lot of, you have to be able to have a conversation in Italian
Yeah.
in order to become an Italian citizen. Thank you, Real Housewives of something that I learned that from. So if I go push out a baby in Italy, does that make me Italian? Or my baby Italian? No, it makes it a U.S. citizen that was born in Italy.
But that has been our standard for the last 250 years. Is if that kid's born, it's
Okay.
birthright.
So wait a minute. So let me think about this. So somebody that was born in Italy of a U.S. citizen cannot become president because they were not born on sovereign. But an illegal can come over here and birth a child with no legal, like a Chinese citizen. That child can become president.
Or like a Manchurian candidate like
Right.
Obama. I mean,
I'm just
call it
saying.
what it is. I mean,
So this illegal
we still don't have
person-
that birth certificate. So
Anyway, so this illegal person can come over, push out a baby, and that baby, wherever it comes from, can go back to its country and learn all about, because it's funny, we were talking about China today. The Chinese citizens actually have they have like police here in the United States, where if
Picking
you
up.
do something
Yeah.
against the Chinese or the China government here in America, they will scoop you up and just you'll disappear and end up in China.
well, that's quality control, I think. I like that. We should send it for the ugly Americans to go to not France. We can make fun of France all we want.
Well, who decides who's ugly?
Ugly. Well, I'm not, whatever. Being an ugly American. How about that? So I guess the last thing I'm going to say about her, my opinion, her point was that Japan can control your conduct while you're in Japan. Again, making the case that if we don't want birthright citizenship, we can say no. And a larger issue, and this is going to take us to our next thing, that when the Constitution uses broad language, then how do we define how things are put into practice?
Right.
Because eventually we use the precedent of the courts, and then the legislation should balance that, should balance the executive. So
Well,
who's going to
what
define all
needs-
this stuff?
That's exactly what
Yeah.
needs to happen. Congress needs to come together, stop being partisan, and figure. They should not be citizens. Full stop.
Well, back home,
Here in North Carolina,
in North Carolina, we
Kakalaki.
have not a fight over education. I'm sorry, over citizenship, but over education right
That's right.
now. There was the North Carolina Supreme Court overturned the Leandro decision that was decided on in 1997. The biggest thing about the Leandro deal was North Carolina Constitution guarantees every child the opportunity to receive a sound, basic education. So that's kind
We've
of
been failing.
That's the crux of this. So it didn't promise identical schools or identical spending in every county.
Mm-hmm.
What it said was that the state must provide minimum ingredients necessary for a real educational opportunity. So think about sound, basic education. That's a big, hairy, amorphous word.
So when we graduate students that can't read, that's not a sound, basic education.
I'm with you. So
okay.
let's suss this out. So the whole sound, basic education thing led to, here's the idea: we should have competent teachers, competent principals, adequate educational resources, and enough support so students actually have a constitutional chance to learn. So
those are not measurable goals. Those are not anything.
They're very amorphous goals.
Yeah, competent.
How do you quantify what a competent teacher looks like?
Right.
I mean, so Leandro back then gave parents, districts, and advocates a constitutional basis to challenge education failures in court. Before Leandro, lawmakers were treating poor outcomes as a political problem. And now after, the courts could say, this is not just disappointing policy, this may be a constitutional violation. So it's elevating when a parent complains, is it a problem with the school board, or is it a constitutional violation? That elevates it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The state can't say after Leandro's passed that, hey, we tried. Sorry, they can't read, we tried.
Did you?
I mean, that's now the court's saying every child has a constitutional right to the opportunity for a sound basic education. So you've got the right to it. Now, whether we're delivering it is a whole other ballgame.
We're not delivering it.
I don't feel like we are.
We're like 47th, 46th in the nation for education here in North Carolina. So we are. If we were like top half, then I'd be like, we're delivering. It's just our constituents are not, but we're like last almost. Might as well be.
Well, Leandro, I mentioned before we came on air that Leandro was actually the plaintiff's name in Hoke County.
Okay.
This happened down the street. And this case has been going on and retried, and they tried to chip away at it like any law that we pass. So there was remedial framework pushed back against for teacher recruitment, pre-K access, special education, broader schools. So since it was passed in 97, they've been chipping away at what it was supposed to do. But it's been going on so long that young Leandro is now an attorney practicing in North Carolina.
Is he still working on this case?
I believe he's still working on this case.
Good for him.
He's advocating for this case.
So he was a young person actually wanting an education?
Well, his parents used him as maybe stage parents or whatever. But the point is, this is a local issue. This is not some far-flung thing. This is in our backyard, right here in Rayford. And I do want to bring on, so there are a couple of guests that I want to bring on. I wanted to speak to our local school board and find out how this is going to affect them, where the rubber meets the road. But there is a teacher union representative I want to bring on to talk about it.
I don't like teachers
because, well, it's a conservative teacher alliance, at least.
Okay.
But,
you know who's a teacher?
Who?
The great and wonderful SM.
We can bring her on.
I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that.
So what I want to hear from are people that understand Leandro, understand the before and afters, so that we can talk to our audience about it. Because I'm not a teacher. I don't understand what this looked like 25 years ago.
It's my understanding she's in a very liberal school, too.
Yep. Well, and we had Leonard Bryant from Frederick Douglass Foundation. They had actually initiated a lawsuit here in Fayetteville that had something to do with somebody not having equal access to IEPs and stuff like that.
Right.
So Leandro is, in my opinion, it was unfair to the schools to begin with.
Why? When
you're making every school district have like a Swiss Army knife, like they have to have every tool in their toolbox, whether there's one student or 1,000 students that need that service.
So, well, what happens if you live in a county that doesn't have those, but your child needs that?
How can we be mandated to possibly cater to every different permutation of the way our kids are? How can we do that? I mean, seriously, how can we fund it? How can we plan? Say there's a deaf and mute or a deaf and blind kid. right? And I'm sure there are.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those kids are there? And do we need to have a program for deaf and blind kids at every school, every
I wouldn't
campus,
say at
or
every
is there
school.
going to be one?
I would say every county, or at least within a contiguous county.
Okay. And that's what I think Leandra was like, no, you got to have it available everywhere.
Well, you can't. There's no way.
There you go.
I'm the blind mute teacher. I got nothing to do because there's no blind mutes in my class. But I would say if it is in each county, one school, then you would have to be able to transport that child to that school and not make it a burden on the parents.
Again, every child deserves an education, and I wish we could better define sound basic education. But, when the courts are throwing this stuff out now, and they will note that it was a liberal-led court when Leandra became a thing, and it's now a conservative-led court that has overturned it. So there is that. But we're going to have some guests on to discuss that further.
I'm totally new to this. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
It's not the most exciting of topics, but if you're worried about trying to get us from a tier 1 community, which is the lowest and the poorest, to, a different tier so that we can attract better jobs and better opportunities here, we need to be focusing on the children. And you even said it on another show I was listening to. It says, children are our future.
Yep,
you
true.
Almost broke into song.
Did I really?
Almost.
I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket if it was half full, so I don't think I did.
So I want to come to something that's more near and dear to my heart. I do have one.
Okay.
Let me see if
a heart.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I do. Yeah. So.
No, I know that.
Yeah, sometimes. Anyway, so I'm going to share this because this is too.
What are we sharing?
Too good not to share.
This is not in the notes.
No, it's not in the notes.
I'm
going off script.
Off script.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Do you see? So I want to talk about Artemis 2 launching on April Fool's, April 1st. I'll get into it in a minute, but I want you to see this kid's response.
Why do you want to be here? Why do you love space? Why do you love being a part of history?
We're going back to the freaking moon, that's why.
Why do you want to?
I mean,
okay.
That kid. Now,
have we been in the first place? Wait a minute.
Stop. See, now we're going to disagree on that at all. There is
okay. Well, I would like to know. Wait. Go
ahead. Go ahead.
Just for. Explain this to me. I've been to a launch. I've been to. I was in Daytona when they were getting ready to. So the disruption in air and space and time when a rocket takes off. Dirt everywhere, smoke goes everywhere, fire everywhere. Have you seen the video of them? First of all, who videotaped it from when as it takes off from the moon? Who's up there videotaping as it stays center frame? Just out of curiosity. And where's the smoke, the fire, and any kind of propulsion whatsoever as it just picks up off the moon and flies away?
You mean in orbit? So
no. On the moon landing.
Right.
It's sitting on the moon.
Because there's no air. There's no
there wasn't
atmosphere.
Even there was no fire.
No,
there was
nothing.
The fire
it just
happens
gets
inside
up and
goes.
You
right.
don't see it. There is a scene of a Saturn V rocket destaging. I think it was off of Apollo 6 or 7. It was a test flight.
This sounds very nice.
Now I'm a 2-time space camp attendee, so but there was film from inside the stage that showed the other stage separating and igniting, and you see the flame outside of the cone for a moment until it develops enough thrust, and then the flame is contained inside of
where's the thrust from landing on the moon? Where's the dust going away? It needs some kind of propulsion to get off this. Where is it?
It doesn't carry like it does in an atmosphere like we have. See, here you've got air molecules around everything, so when you disrupt one, it has a ripple effect, but in space it goes against the force it was applied to. So
who's the guy that was there on the moon going, ready, go, take off?
You mean taking off? So that was taken from a lunar rover that they had driven around,
and they kept it.
And there was a guy.
Well, how did the lunar rover get there? Because that piece.
Because it was in the base. There was empty space in the base of the lunar module.
Oh my God,
yes. I've actually driven a lunar rover. Space
okay,
yes, I did.
They have you like totally.
I did it. I even saw Delta II take off. Okay. I'm all over it. But I just want to mention that this young man has done definitely not been alive long enough to have seen the shuttles or anything else or know anything about the space race. And his enthusiasm, I think the director of NASA said we're sending him a welcome bag of goodies.
Nice.
But there's another podcast that I listen to, the Ruthless podcast. They were talking about they went to get a drink in DC the day of the launch, and that the bar is a pretty eclectic mix of Capitol Hill functionaries and Democrats, Republicans, everybody, but that they felt that there was a palpable mood of patriotism.
Really?
Finally, when the rocket ignited and it took off, everybody was cheering like it was a Super Bowl. And America's back. We should be doing great things. We should be doing these things that, Donald Trump is like AFK to be eloquent and say, we go to the moon not because they're easy, but because they're hard.
Right.
Donald Trump couldn't pull that off.
Right.
Okay.
He's not the most well-spoken.
He's not going to really have any speeches that are going to be probably replayed.
Right. Well, he might. There's been a couple that are actually pretty good.
Only for the expletive laden parts of it, like "shut up, piggy." That was pretty funny. Come on. Although I was hoping that girl's name was Peggy.
Anyway,
so Artemis 2 launched on April 1st. It'll return on April 11th. Now, one other, bringing it back home.
Don't you think it's April 1st? April Fools. Going to the moon.
See, okay, now you're not one of those conspiracy theorist people. See, I saw some on Facebook, and it just makes me want to jiggle them. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, we've been to the moon. We've been back.
I don't believe you.
Got rocks,
I don't believe you.
Okay, fine. I believe it. They're going to be back on the 11th. Local flavor here. Christina Koch is an astronaut, first woman to orbit the moon.
Okay.
She was born in Michigan, but she was raised in Jacksonville. She was I guess, Marine brat.
Okay.
She attended North Carolina School of Math and Science.
Nice.
And, of course, NC State, and then she has multiple masters and everything. She's a pretty smart lady. But I just had to mention that we have a local North Carolinian on.
Going around the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And, we had Mr. Astronaut Borman was from here. I think I went to school with his grandkids.
Really?
Yeah. So
I don't know anything about other than I know that we did not land on the moon.
Lord, I'm not even going to argue with you on that. I'm not, because I know we did. So I'm not worried. I do have one friend on Facebook that does not believe it, but I'm just like, look, we're here, we're there. We'll just talk something else.
How do you lose? I lost. I don't know how to get there again.
What are you talking about? Lose what?
NASA lost all of the footage. They lost all of the information on how they got there. Really?
Well, because everything was on tape that got erased.
Yeah, how convenient.
No, they reused that. So you know how expensive that even our government was like, all right, let's reuse that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one moon landing, the one thing that we did. Yeah, let's
once
tape
the
over that.
program is over with, that's it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the motivation is to not archive things, but.
Yeah. Anyway,
I can't with you today.
Yeah.
So
it's okay. You're not going to convince me. I've looked at too much footage.
Stop with that one website. Seriously, whatever conspiracy website.
It's not one website. There's so many. When you start going down the rabbit hole, you just can't come back.
Well, that's going to do it for us this evening, I should say. I think we're going to be on Tuesday. I think I do have a guest.
Tuesday.
So on Wednesday.
Okay.
What the hell's wrong? Anyway.
I say Tuesday.
Wednesday, 2 p.m.
They have the Republican Women's Club Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, yep. And so, listen, everybody, thank you for joining us on our live broadcast. Hello, Bambi. You're a little late to the party, but she says we walked on the moon, and she stayed up late. So there, take that, Laura.
I love Bambi. I love Bambi Bellflowers. I don't believe we've been on the moon.
Well, please, everybody, go check out our website, thecarolinacabinet.com. I am behind in publishing episodes, but you will see a bunch of new ones coming out. And till Wednesday, we'll see you later. Take care.